You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. to deem yourself successful. So, for context, a few months ago, I just changed my sleep schedule because my Aura ring told me I'm a late morning type and I like to sleep later. Now, I think usually I would just fight it off because I used to be very against rest. Like, I didn't really prioritize it the way I do now. However, I was like, you know what? I pay for this damn ring, I pay for the subscription every year. Let's try it out. Let's see if I am a late morning type and whether or not that fixes my current problems that I was facing. I was dealing with the midday crash, being tired like from 1 p.m. down to 7, and then re waking up because I am a night owl. I also wouldn't go to bed early either. Like, so I would still force myself to wake up at 5:30, have trouble getting up, still feel rushed in the morning somehow, even if I did wake up 2 hours before I do now. With that being said, I've stuck to it for the past few months, and I now go to bed at 11 ish, and I wake up at like 7 every morning. To tie it back to, you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning to be successful. You don't. If anything, I feel like I've gotten so much more done because I'm more energetic in the times that I need to be energetic. I don't have the midday crash anymore, so I can actually get things done midday versus waiting until I'm almost off of work to kind of pile up all the things I need to do because I was so tired during that midday crash. I won't say that I don't enjoy waking up early. Like every once in a while, I'll wake up early just because I'm like, well, I kind of miss it and I want to go work out in the morning because I have a busier evening. I also grew pretty normal to that as a student athlete. Like we would wake up at 5 at least 4 times a week, bare minimum, because you had lift in the morning. So every morning we had lift at 5:30. We had to be there at 5:15. So waking up closer to 4 even sometimes. I also worked at Starbucks and loved the morning shifts. They open at 5. And also I had practices too. So it was always like a morning thing was you're supposed to be up in the morning. However, I had more time to also take naps throughout the day. I was averaging like 1 to 2 naps a day and still trying to juggle the rest of my softball schedule the rest of the day and school. So while I won't complain about waking up early and also look up to people who do wake up early and that's how their chronotype is for sleeping, I personally know that right now in this chapter of my life, I can sleep in and actually give myself rest. I will say too, I think the stress of waking up early had affected my body so much. I started losing weight when I switched my sleep schedule. So maybe if you're looking to help your weight loss journey, I'd say prioritizing rest is the most important thing in that whole entire nature. So, few tips. I would say figuring out when you are most productive. If you are more productive in the morning, then stay to your morning thing. You don't have to like take my advice for it of excuse me. I don't know why I can't talk today, but I'm not gonna drag anybody who does wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning because go you. Like I'm very jealous of people who go to sleep at a reasonable time and still wake up at 5 a.m. because I know personally my sleep is necessary. The rude awakening I had was trying to wake up early on the weekends. I still had a crash, still had a tough time getting stuff done. Like I'd get up, do my workouts, whatever. Like I can get up and work out. That's the easiest part of my day. The rest of it is like having to go through the rest of the day, I think, because I'm like I was thinking like, oh, it's normal. Like, yes, there's like studies on like women who like have this midday crash that they deal with. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's normal. That's normal for me. It's not normal because when you're prioritizing rest, I don't have a midday crash anymore. I don't even like feel that tired throughout the whole entire day unless I had a bad rest, like sleep the night before. So basically, what I'm saying is figure out when you're most productive. If you're more productive at night, then I would suggest maybe starting to wake up later because, maybe your energy levels are higher at night. I know for me, that's how I work is that once it's 6 p.m., all of a sudden I have all the energy in the world and I can get everything done that I need to get done. Whereas in the morning, I would get my workout done, feel sluggish the whole entire time because once I'm done with my workout, I'm like, okay, I feel good. Also, the last thing I want to do is organize stuff before like going to work or like what I had planned was like journaling, everything like that. Now in the mornings, I do have time to journal. I do have time to stretch and move my body a little bit. So I do like a light yoga flow. And then I also like to, take my vitamins, drink my coffee, make my stuff. Like I love starting my day with tea. I'll make time for tea as well. Like, I don't think you need a bunch of time in the morning if you are a night owl. Considering I made a video about how I prep my day the night before, I'm also already prepared because I have the most energy ever at night. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? Prep my lunch for the next day or make my breakfast and do all these things, set up my clothes because I know that in the morning I won't want to do it. Now I have all the time in the world in the morning. If anything, I'm sitting on my phone scrolling TikTok in the morning. Like, I have so much time in my morning even with waking up 2 hours later than I used to. This is also a reminder that it is your life. There's tons of videos and tons of media shown like why I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I've written a blog about it before where I'm like, oh yeah, waking up early. Like, if you can't get things done throughout the day, then wake up early, which I still stand by. Like, if you feel more productive in the morning, by all means, wake up earlier in the morning. But just because everybody else is preaching about it doesn't mean that you have to define your level of success to other people's standards still. If you're only waking up early in the morning because your favorite influencer is posting about it, I would suggest maybe adjusting to what you actually want to do. If you started loving waking up in the morning and you're like, you know what, this was revolutionary, then keep doing that, like by all means. But this also is a reminder for people who maybe don't like waking up in the morning and are only doing it because other people told them to do it. I'd say I definitely started it that way because I was like, you know what? I'm going to be productive. I'm going to be, I don't know, I wanted to be more of like an influence for people to follow, I guess. And the only way was I was like, well, if I wake up at 5, like everything will be solved. And it's like, no, actually, now I'm leading the way and telling people that you don't have to wake up early. I'm not saying I sleep in necessarily because even on the weekends, I do wake up. My sleep in is like 8. So I won't lie. I guess age kind of caught up with me on that because I used to be able to sleep until like noon. However, I mean that is a good thing though. At least I'm not like missing out on sleep because I think that was an obvious tell of, hey girl, you're not getting enough sleep. Okay, I'm kind of rambling here, but I do believe that if you're in full control of when you're supposed to be sleeping, when you're supposed to be waking up, that's going to be your definition of success for you. If you're defining, hey, I'm going to sleep at 9 p.m., wake up at 6. Okay, wonderful. It took me a whole ring to tell me, hey, this is your sleep type. This is when you're most productive, where you have the best hours of sleep, whatever, which has helped. Like, I'm not trying to influence anybody on buying an Aura ring, but I would say it has helped because that was the main reason why I bought this, was because I wanted to do that and stress levels and cycle stuff. So I kind of just I lean probably more science on like sleep and rest and things because I do love to work out and I need to start prioritizing rest. So, anyways, yeah, the moral of the story, choose what you want to sleep like because it's not anybody else's control to tell you, hey, if you're going to be successful, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. Now, not every successful person is waking up at 5 a.m. If you need to wake up at 5 a.m., go ahead. But also, just keep prioritizing rest. If you're going to wake up at 5, make sure you're sleeping by 9 or 10, somewhere around there. People talk a lot about waking up times and they never talk about when you should be going to bed. So I think, with that being said, definitely pick what makes sense for you. If you feel more productive in the morning, wake up earlier in the morning. If you don't and you're a night owl, then stay up a little later and wake up later. Prioritize when you're most productive because that's going to be where you're finding more success, where you're getting more things done, is when you're kind of determining where you're actually sleeping, where you're actually giving yourself rest and things like that. But then also, where are you going to be more energetic and where you can adjust where you feel more energetic, more restful, more or less just more productive, I guess. Now, again, this isn't a drag to my 5 a.m. kings and queens out there. I think, yes, go you, do what makes you happy. You got it. I'm actually very jealous of you because I wish I was a 5 a.m. person and I wish that I could, thrive in that nature, but I can't, honestly. Right now, in this chapter of my life, I feel exhausted at 5 a.m. and then I know I'm tired at 1. So, bear with me now. If you can, awesome. And again, these are all just suggestions. If you are a 5 a.m. king and queen, then keep doing that. But if you're not, then guess what? You don't have to conform. Like, this is your life. You get to define where you are at, what you are doing, who you are, everything about it. So stay in control of that because you don't want someone else telling you you should be doing this because, you know, they think it's right. Another thing that my mentor had shared with me once was, well, it depends on the chapter of your life, like where you're at in your life. That's how your sleep's affected. So like for her, she had explained like how her sleep had fluctuated throughout the years, and I'm like, "Oh, you know what? Like maybe I should consider that when I am kind of moving through life." But right now at 24, I'm definitely more of a night owl, and we'll see if that changes within the next few years. I'm sure it will, because a few months ago I was a morning person and I loved it. But then it did get to a point where I was exhausted and wasn't prioritizing rest, and therefore my body was stressed all of the time. Pay attention to your stress levels, pay attention to how tired you feel in the morning, how tired you feel at night. And yeah, this is a lot of talk about sleeping, a lot of talk about rest. So hopefully everybody gets a good night's rest, even though I'm posting this mid afternoon. Thank you so much for listening. Peace and love.